We are talking about The Expanse, and the reason The Expanse Season 6 was cut short. Why it's been canceled. Why did we not get the whole story?
We didn't?
I guess we did. It wasn't a lot of episodes. Why did we get so little episodes? Why?
Oh, this is great, man. I love this one. You know why? Because this article is like supposed to be like the way they're trying to paint it when they're talking about it is like, oh, we accomplished what we wanted to accomplish. So what I did in this article is I read between the lines. All right, I read between the lines. This article says the reason The Expanse season 6 was cut short. And it says here they did some interviews that talked about why season 6 of The Expanse is short. 6 is the magic number. They're trying to find ways. Okay. But here's basically what they said. According to the showrunner, the decision to make the season shorter was part of an agreement between Amazon and Alcon Television, which produces the show. Let me read that again. It was an agreement between Amazon and Alcon Television. Let me tell you something. There are no agreements between Amazon and anybody else. Right. If Amazon's footing the bill, it's Amazon telling Alcon Television what they're going to do.
Right, 100%.
So here's like they're trying to smooth it over. The guy says, I mean, you always kind of agree on how much money you're going to commit to the production of the show. Look at that. You kind of always agree on how much money you're going to commit to the production of the show. Amazon told Alcon TV, oh yeah, we ain't spending that much money on this final season. So you better cut your episodes. That's what happened here.
Right.
It came down to making 6 episodes of it. It's always a negotiation to some extent, meaning to some extent means there was no negotiation. Could we have done 10? Absolutely. Could we have done 8? Certainly. I don't think we could have told the story in less than 6. So what they said was Amazon went to Alcon TV and said, can you do this in a couple episodes? Let's wrap this thing up. How do we get this thing done?
Right. Because it's not going to do anything more for them past this season.
Right. And that's the whole theory that you and I have talked about, where it's like, hey, it doesn't matter. More seasons doesn't mean more money. Everybody who's going to, become a subscriber at Amazon to watch this show is already here. So why are we spending more money? And that's exactly what happened here. So they ended up doing 6 seasons. Now, granted, according to everybody, it was satisfactorily ended. So there's no trouble here or anything. But I just find it interesting that this is a confirmation that Amazon put the kibosh on the show. And it just backs up the reasoning that we have that don't get too in love with your streaming shows, because they may not satisfactorily end them the way you want to, because it's not monetarily necessary.
Right, because they're not making ad revenue anymore.
Right, ad revenue's gone.
The purpose of these shows is to get subscribers. Once you're a subscriber, and they're good, they can move on to the next thing that will get other subscribers. That's it.
Right. We used to say, watch the show, watch it, tune in when it's airing and watch it. Right now, that's done.
Right, that don't matter.
Now it's subscribe. Right, it's subscribe to the channel, and then there's nothing else you can do. There's literally nothing else you can do to ensure that your show stays on the air, other than find a way to bring new subscribers in. That's the only catalyst now. Are we going to get to a point at some place where you get like this, these fan campaigns where they're like trying to find a way to boost the number of subscribers that a show gets, throughout the months in order to make these services want to keep doing the show?
Dude, I have a feeling that we're gonna get pretty soon. We're gonna get to a new age for movies, because there's gonna come a time where there's no real monetary reason for, let's say, Netflix to build new TV shows, and in order to please fans, they're going to come out with as little as possible to keep the subscribers going. And we're going to experience what we experienced in the late 90s, early 2000s, where we had like a decade of reality TV shows popping up. And we've already seen it on Netflix, on Hulu, on HBO Max. We're seeing a lot of reality shows popping up, new ones, not old ones, like new ones. Um, uh, Island of Love and whatever, right?
Right.
We're gonna see a lot more of that because reality shows are cheap. When the Fresh Prince came back, or the Fresh Prince reunion show, it wasn't an actual Fresh Prince episode of television. It was just the actors were paid to go and talk about Fresh Prince for an hour and a half.
Right.
And it got subscribers because people want to tune into that. We're going to see a lot of the Friends reunion show, same thing. We're going to see a lot more of that because that is cheaper than developing. Because when you make a TV show, you got writers, concept artists, and directors, and actors, and grips, and sets, and blah, blah, blah. And there's so much. And if you're not making money on all that stuff anymore, and the subscribers is where you're making your money, or maybe your merch. I mean, merch might save a TV show, maybe. But for the most part, we're going to see an era where reality shows are going to come back in a big way, and movies are going to fill the gap for story. And that's exactly what happened in the late 90s or the 2000s. Reality shows dominated television, and movies had to step up. We got some of the best movies we ever got in our lives. We got The Matrix, Lord of the Rings, some of the best movies of all time, because the way you make money on a movie is people going to watch it.
Right. That's true.
So it's got to be good. We might see that again. We might see another cycle of that here, and I'm not sure.
Hope not.
I wonder how we bust out of that though, as in the new streaming world.
I think the way we bust out of it is we just get used to less. We're already getting less episodes for a season, and we're getting less seasons for a show. And I think we just have to be happy with basically getting long movies. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's kind of what's happening. We're getting long movies now. We're not getting TV shows. We're not getting something where this could last, 10, 11, 12 seasons. Those days are gone.
Right. No more Stargate SG-1 13 season, whatever runs, or whatever it was.
As long as it's streaming until, and I will say this until, and we may get to this point where having a subscription to a streaming service is no longer enough. Wait till they start having a subscription to streaming service, and they haven't found a way to raise their revenue because they can't really raise prices anymore. So they add basically like special rates for certain shows, an additional $1.99 a month in order to watch The Expanse. Oh, you want The Expanse to go? Well, you're paying your fee, but you also got to pay an additional, I don't know what you would call it, like an add-on fee in order to be able to watch your
new release fee. Yeah, exactly. So you get all the back catalog that you're here for.
Right.
But you can subscribe to certain shows and
yes.
And you know what?
Subscription within the subscription.
You know what? As horrible as that sounds, honestly, that might be the only way to do it.
I really believe that's because we were talking about this last week. And
how do you prove that The Expanse is worth continuing?
Well, I kept wondering, right? I kept saying to myself, at some point, they're not going to be making more money. And, we talk about investing a lot, right? And when you're investing, businesses have to grow.
Right.
Once they cap out, you got to show progress. The only way you're going to show progress is you find different ways to take money from people.
Right.
You only raise the price so high.
Right.
So the subscription within the subscription, and what do gaming companies do? You buy the game, then you buy things within the game.
Yeah. DLC, microtransaction, hats and digital items, and that's the new flaming sword.
That's the future of television, I guess, if that's what you want to call it.
You know what? And
you heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, that's a really good idea, Shane. And as much as people would probably hate that.
Right.
That just means that, you know what? You want more of your favorite Star Trek show, whatever? Maybe it's time to cancel your Discovery Plus subscription that you never watch.
Yep.
And that's when you start canceling subscriptions to services that aren't doing that model, so you can pay for services that are doing that kind of a model, so you can keep watching your favorite shows. That's when those services will pick up their game, and we'll start getting some more healthy competition again.
Yeah, I mean, it's always going to be, the law of demand. Like, people supply and demand. If people demand it, people will supply it. And so, we just have to figure out ways to, this is all a new thing. We're brand new. I mean, this is like just starting. The whole streaming stuff has been going on for a few years, but we're still in the infancy of it.
Amazon already has something like, I just realized this. They already have something similar to this.
Oh,
With Amazon Prime, you get Prime stuff,
yeah,
but also you can like subscribe to like Freeform
yeah,
or XPlay
UFO,
or
right,
whatever, some other like channel on there that gives you other content that's within
right.
Amazon Prime.
Yeah, no, they're already doing it. You're right to some degree, but of course, those are services outside of Amazon.
Right. They should do
So
it by individual show. Oh, it's an extra $1.99 if you want the Expanse.
yeah,
Because you know what? All right.
well, exactly. If it's going to give you a season 7 of The Expanse, would you pay $1.99 per episode to get a 7th season?
Oh, per episode? I thought it was like a monthly subscription to it.
Whatever. I'm just saying, like, well, the way they're doing it now, they're just putting them all out there. So,
Oh, is the Expanse did that too?
oh yeah, Amazon just drops everything, man. They don't care. They're
I think Amazon.
well,
did
no,
it
they
weekly.
didn't. Wheel of Time was weekly.
I think they did this one. I think they did this one weekly too.
Did they do this one weekly?
Yeah.
Well, that's smart because that's the way it should be.
Right.
But then you can do a subscription, like, but it makes actually more sense to do it by episode. Like, you go to click on the episode, you're like, boom, you'd agree to pay the extra $1.99. Yep. And then it charges your card. And you can't watch season 7. You got your basic membership, but you can't watch it unless you pay the extra money. And by the way, we've already got your subscription, so bam.
But you can watch previous seasons with your regular subscription.
Go crazy.
Right.
Yeah. That's got to be what's next, right?
It has to be.
Yeah.
Even though that sounds, I know for a lot of
Crazy.
people that sounds insane. What are you talking about? That's horrible. I mean, what else? There's a lot of people out there that are really, really used to free television. And here's the deal. Those days are gone, folks.
They are gone.
People getting mad because Orville went to the Hulu and there's no Orville on Channel 11 anymore. I mean, what do you expect to happen? You can't be mad about that. It was either that or there is no Orville. It was either it goes to Hulu and it's a Hulu original, or there is no Orville. Getting mad that they're behind a paywall. Look, guys, television is a paywall. It's just not a upfront payroll.
Well, and only if you have rabbit ears. I mean, you're paying for cable.
Right. If you go crazy and you go out of your way to get rabbit ears and put this on and you go, oh, okay, now I'm not paying for it. You are paying for it. You're just paying for it with your time, dude. That hour-long TV show, you're actually watching 22 minutes of content.
Yeah.
I mean, you're paying for you're allowing your time to be used as payment. And
because the advertisers, yeah.
Right. And if you've gone that far to get rabbit ears and to get channel 2 through 35 or whatever, and you're willing to pay for your time, more power to you. But most of us are like, oh, we're going to buy a cable subscription. It's going to come with basic network television and some basic cable. And you're still paying for it now via the cable system.
Well, and that was the one-up, Brian. So that was the one-up. So we're talking about a one-up for streaming. The one-up for television was, hey, television's free because the advertisers are paying us to make it so that you can watch it. The advertisers want you to spend your money outside of it. Boom, that's the payment plan. Oh, wait a sec. We need to make more money. Cable companies. Oh, so the advertisers are still paying. The advertisers are still paying for you to see it, but now you're now also paying in order to get it all, in a box.
And I remember that. I remember some of the selling points with better quality, consistent delivery, more channels.
Right. No more antenna moving.
Right.
No, forget that. The tinfoil.
They used to have I remember the giant antennas on someone's house, like they were trying to call aliens. Yeah, listen, guys. They're gonna keep one up again. To be totally fair, streaming was a one up, but it really wasn't. It was actually, as far as the cable company is concerned, it was like a punch in the gut. They pulled it back and it allowed you to curate, and sort of a la carte your selections. Well, now that cable's going the way of the dinosaur,
right,
and this is becoming the new thing, now it's becoming just as expensive to get all the content cable was giving you.
Yeah, they're not going to let us save money, bro.
Look, does that mean that When you were paying $120 a month for your cable, you're like, I'm paying all this money. I'm not watching all this crap. Well, now you're paying for 14 streaming services. You're still not watching all that crap. You are paying for it so you can watch it
right
when you want to watch it.
Right.
So now you are just consciously you're making the decision to pay what the cable company was charging you for the convenience of that content. Before, what pissed you off was you didn't have the decision. Now you've been given the decision, and now you're paying the same amount.
Right.
So what's next? There's no advertisers can't step. I mean, dude, look, I would much rather pay $1.99 to subscribe to a TV show than to watch ads. So if you're like, hey, they gotta bring back ads, so that they don't gotta raise our prices. Well, that's fine for you, but for me, I would much rather pay more money to never see an ad as long as I live. Right. When I boot up Paramount Plus and they play their stupid ad before so everything you watch on Paramount Plus, they play a little like trailer of some other show they're pumping, right?
Right, yeah.
It physically sickens me. I can't. I'm trying to fast forward. There's nothing I can do, and I gotta watch something about some reality show about the Amazing Race with transvestites or something, whatever it was last time. And here's the deal: I don't want to watch that, even if the show would interest me. I will find it on my own. Please do not force me to watch 45 seconds of content against my will when I'm paying for non-ads. I've literally hit the contact button, hit cancel. And when Paramount asks you why you're canceling, I'm like, I paid for non-ads, I'm watching ads. And they go, well, you want 2 months free? I'm like,
yeah,
I guess.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
And now I'm back. I got 2 months for free because I was about to cancel because of ads. And now I'm back. And you know what? That was like 6 months ago. I don't even
You don't even remember. I'm not even sure how to cancel my subscription.
I would much rather pay. If you're like, hey, you can watch ads to be subscribed to this TV show, or you can pay for premium non-ads and subscribe to it for this low nominal amount, sign me up. If that is how you need to pad your metrics to also show who's watching and making extra money on that content, then I guess that's the option. You can have both options. Throw ads on new release content or allow people to pay for an ad-free experience for that new release content.
We are frozen. This means that Brian lost power.
Uh-oh. Well, guys, let us know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'm sorry.